I'm going to lie to you today. I'm going to tell you everything that you wish was true and everything that will make you feel better. So the first thing is, in medical school, when it comes to learning, you can do it as passively as possible. You don't need to write notes. You don't need to do question banks. You don't need to do any of that. If it can be done easy, then you're really learning a lot. Go ahead and rewrite your lectures for hours and hours. Read them 3 times and you should be good. The next step, resource hop as much as you can. Do Sketchy, do Boards and Beyond, do Pathoma, do First Aid, go through your lecture slides, do the Anki, do Osmosis, do Amboss, try getting a workout in, get 8 hours of sleep, do all of it. Because you're a medical student, you can do it all, right? Third is worry about what others are doing constantly. If somebody tells you their strategy, you should drop yours and just start using their strategy right away. Listen to everyone, get advice from everyone about what they're doing and figure out what's best. And if somebody tells you that they didn't study for an exam, wholeheartedly believe them and ask yourself why you're so dumb to study for the exam. Forget about scheduling. Scheduling is for losers. Just go off of vibes. Study when you feel like it. Go to workout when you feel like it. You'll be just fine. Finally, it's a dog-eat-dog world out there. If you have a study strategy that's working with you, keep it to yourself. If you have notes, don't help anybody. There's no point anyways, right? So keep your notes to yourself and go about your day. Hey guys, my name is Abdul. I am now a 3rd-year medical student at the University College Dublin. I'm from Calgary, Alberta, so I'm studying here internationally, and I hope you found that funny. And obviously I was joking there, so if you're a pro medical student, you can go ahead and inverse everything I just said and save yourself the next 5 minutes. But I hope you stick along, and I'm gonna tell you everything that I've learned so far and everything I wish I was told when I was starting out. So let's get right into it. So there's 2 major takeaways I'd like you to take away from this video. The first one has to do with learning. Second one is using your time effectively. I'll get to the time part later, but I want to talk about learning first because I want to get this out of the way. So you need to figure out how to learn, okay? Learning how to learn. And the stuff that you're learning is actually not that difficult. It's not rocket science. And if you try to explain to someone like an engineer, software, anyone who's done a bachelor's who's relatively smart, if you tell them like what you're trying to learn, it's not that difficult. What is difficult is the volume of information. What is difficult is differentiating from one thing from another, and knowing all the association and having those things quickly in your brain. So that's the difficult bit, okay? The volume of information. You've probably heard medical school is like drinking water from a fire hose, and it really is. So what I would do in this case is, if I could go back, I would find my core resources. So everyone in medical school, they have a different strategy, they have different resources that they're using. So when you start off, you should get the lay of the land. You should figure out what's actually out there, and then you should narrow down, like funnel in and really focus on the 2 to 3 resources that are really good for you and that you'll enjoy, and know them inside out. It's better to be narrow and deep rather than wide and have a superficial understanding of each thing from different resources, because that way your brain doesn't have like any way to recall. If you use too many resources, it can't recall one thing, and you want it to recall one thing, and you want it to recall specifically, like you use this resource and this is where it came up. And when you add too many things and you are using way too many resources, it messes that recall up. So I would say use 2 to 3 resources that you swear by, whether that's going through all of Boards and Beyond. Go through all of it. Go through all of Pathoma. Have like maximum 3 to 4 resources. Don't resource hop. If you try doing everything, it's just not possible, and you're gonna burn yourself out, and at the end of the day, you're not even gonna remember what you need to remember, and it'll be very difficult for you. This is what happened to me. I tried doing Osmosis, tried doing Boards and Beyond, tried doing my lecture slides, tried doing questions. It just didn't work. So That leads me to my second point, which is use question banks and flashcards early. Our school had previous exams from the previous years, and I wish I had just done them. I had saved them to do later on in the semester, but by the time I needed them and by the time I got to them, I need saving myself. There was no point saving those examinations. It was better for me if I had just completed them in the first month and gone over them like 10 times rather than wait and assess myself. The biggest mindset shift that you can have in your schooling would be to treat question banks like a resource, like a textbook, something that is not as much as an assessment, but just a learning tool, because you're using it as a recall, and then you're using it, the answer that comes up, as like a study tool. Okay, you want to think of it like that. If you start thinking about, oh, I'm gonna save my questions for later, there is no later, it's only now. You're not, if you think you're gonna find time later, it's not happening. It's not. These things are very important. I know, you know, you're very smart. If you're watching this video, you're first year medical, you're a very smart person. You're like top 10% of society here. You have had a system that's worked for you, right? And you could probably milk that, and you can probably use that system for first and second year, no problem. To really build a solid foundation, you want to not just memorize this stuff, you want to be able to make connections. You might have to change your strategy here. Go through and test yourself. Figure out a schedule. Okay, if I reviewed something on one day, when is the next time I'm going to review it? And put it in your calendar. Now that I've got that out of the way, I'd like to talk to you about the other tips. Be social. Go to the events, go to the parties, go to the dinners, go to a lot of these things, okay? Try meeting as many people as possible, because like, for a selfish reason, it's good for you. Like, you are spending 4 years of your life in medical school and you want to know everybody, so maybe later on they can help you out. And at the same time, these are your fellow doctors, these are your fellow colleagues in the future, these are people that you can rely upon, so you want to shake everybody's hand. Go to those things, introduce yourself, you know, try getting yourself out there, because for example, first year is the best time to do this. I've had I think everybody that I talk to right now, I'm in third year, everybody I talk to right now is everybody I've met from first year. So we're having this 2-year, 4-year relationship with people, and you want to make sure that you start off with the right foot. You join them, and honestly, it's also about time. Right now you have the most time. Go on that trip. There was this one trip, there was a skiing trip last year that I just didn't go on, and it's happening again this year, but I have clinicals this year, so I wish I had gone on that trip, and I would have made memories. I would have created stories with my classmates, and it's just unfortunate I didn't go on it, because I don't think that time is going to come again, and I don't think we're going to be, you know, it's not going to be the same. So take advantage of this time, be social, get out there, meet your classmates, okay? I'm sure they're wonderful people, and enjoy yourself. This is actually this is the second most important point that I wanted to talk to you guys about, is using this time effectively and taking advantage of this time. So for example, right off the bat, if you're thinking of getting some publications, start working on them now. You have this newfound respect of being a medical student. Reach out to people, say you're a medical student and you want to do research. Get that stuff done now, like get on top of it, because it takes at least 2 to 3 years to get a publication in, right? It takes at least a year. It took me a year to get my name on a publication. Speaking of research, I have another video outlining 4 ways that you can get PIs and doctors to help you with your research, so be sure to check that out. If you want to be a part of a group or a club, anything like that, start doing it early, because I know it's going to be hard. You're not going to have time first year. It's going to be overwhelming, but you're definitely going to have less time in third and fourth. You'll be better at handling your time, but still you want to make sure that you take advantage of the time you have right now. Biggest thing I wish I knew was that first year summer. There's a couple things you need to do. You should probably look around and do an observership. Now, an observership is really important, and it's important to do that first year because that way you're building a connection. Think of it, you're building a network, and you want to build as many connections as possible so that when the time comes for clinical electives, when the time comes for reference letters, you have somebody that you can reach out to. And this second year summer, I did an observership, and there was a student who had completed her first year, and this was her first year summer. And I was so envious of her because she was already ahead of the game. She was already talking to this doctor, and she did it first summer. She can come around the second summer and work with that doctor again. And that's like a really good connection to have. So start working on those things earlier. I know it probably sounds like very obvious advice, but you need a reminder, and I hope that I can be that for you. The second thing is continue with your studies. If you know second year first semester you're going to be learning gastroenterology, you're going to be learning about the endocrine system, you're going to be learning about hematology, go over take an hour, go over a couple things, go over the main diseases. And I'm not a big fan of sacrifice, but it's okay, incorporate it into your life. Couple 5 questions a page. If you've done the Angie cards first year, don't discontinue them. Keep them in your schedule, incorporate them, leave time out for fun, for a break, leave time out for family, for friends, and then when you have a day off, just study a little bit. And I think that's the only way to get ahead. When I look back and I look at how could I have handled second year first semester better, and I got completely wiped out second year first semester, and I look back and I think that first year summer would have been the best place to get on top of it, and really continue building that foundation from first year. Everything I did in first year I forgot. That shouldn't be the case. You're gonna need it in third, you're gonna need it in fourth, so definitely go over that. So yeah, I think that would be the second biggest piece of advice that I wish I had heard, because first year summer, I was chilling, man. I was shooting weddings. It was a great time. I made money, but it didn't even feel like I was in medical school because I stopped doing the things that I was doing over the first year. And I guess that was the pandemic year as well, and COVID was crazy, so I was disadvantaged in that way. But if I could go back, definitely I would be using that first year summer. My last tip, please enjoy the process. Please enjoy the process. There's gonna be ups and downs. It's gonna be difficult. Your friends are gonna be getting their first jobs. You're gonna be away from family. There's gonna be birthdays. There's gonna be life things. Enjoy the process. Don't glorify overwork and studying all day every day and just burning yourself out. Don't glorify that stuff. Be efficient with your time. You have a set, get the work done when you need to get it done, and then do something else. Have a balance. Try different things out. You don't want to be that person whose whole personality is medicine. Those people are not cool. They're not. I've never found them interesting. The people that are interesting are who can balance their life out. They're creative. They're doing something that is different from the regular. Every medical student can study all day every day. If you truly want to excel, if you truly want to enjoy this time, have a balance. Know when it's time to study, know when it's time to put away your books. I know it's going to be difficult. I'm having that trouble right now, but be a human, well-rounded human. That's why you got here, right? Talk to people that are outside of medicine. Medicine is a very small subtype subsection of society, you know. Not everybody has our problems, not everybody has our perspective. So you want to go and talk to average people that outside of medicine and figure out, you know, what's going on in the world. Like, you know, yeah, when you're happy, when you have things figured out, when you're going to the gym and when you're having a balanced life, you're gonna be happier. And when you're happier, it's easier to be receptive to information. It's easier to take in your lectures. So definitely focus on your balance. Create stories, create memories with your friends. These are your friends for your next 4 years. So those are all the tips that I had for you. It's a bit of a rambly video, but I thought I share this information with you. I've had so many people message me about getting into first year and, you know, what resources they should use and stuff like that. So these are all the things I wish I had heard when I started, and I wish you best of luck. Please let me know in the comments which school you're going to, which year you're in, what your experience has been like, and if you had any other questions, please let me know. I'd love to get to know you guys. I'd really appreciate if you could like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.